whatever it is that your community is directly dealing with, the campaigns coordinator is on the ground organizing with that chapter to overturn that contradiction. You can go to the next slide. Coordinator is on the ground organizing. So I did want to talk a little bit about our biggest campaign that every chapter is participating in right now on the ground, and that's our COVID-19 PPE program campaign. Everybody is participating in this campaign, and we are passing out, at every chapter, informationals, a pandemic protocol, safety guided tips that tell you how to stay safe. And also a COVID-19 PPE package that comes with KN95 masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, and herbs to keep your immune system boosted. And so, I just want to kind of bring that back. We've been every chapter has been participating in that campaign since last year. And the campaigns are growing in every chapter as well. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So a little bit about what's going on in the Massachusetts, Connecticut chapter to talk about our spotlight. We have on the right side, our Massachusetts, Connecticut chapter has started growing gardens. Right now, they currently have 4 gardens. And what's really, really cool is you can see we're using whatever space comrades have available, right? You can see here, this comrade didn't really have a lot of space, lives in a little bit more of an industrial area. We were able to come up with, a container garden that was small, but enough to really feed them throughout the summer for one person, right? And so, they had a chapter garden day where all the people in the chapter got together and traveled to all the gardens and helped them set their chapters up. And this is going to be growing. They have more that are coming. And eventually, the goal is to feed the community, right? To be able to grow enough food to feed the Hammers in the community there. And upcoming, there's a lot of food insecurity that the Massachusetts, Connecticut chapter is, the community in the Massachusetts, Connecticut chapter is dealing with. A lot of people who are, looking for, food pantries and things like that. And so they're going to be starting a local food box program to really go to pillars in the community. There's a lot of colonized pillars, businesses where a lot of colonized people go to. Especially, I know some spots, there's a lot of food deserts where there's not a lot of big grocery stores and things like that, right? And so there's a lot of places where the Massachusetts Connecticut chapter is going to be starting a food box program where they're going to be leaving canned goods, pantry good and items at these community pillars, along with their newsletter, with our Blackhammer newsletter, which just came out. Salute to Agitation Propaganda for that. And just really making sure that the community knows who Blackhammer is and what we're building up to. So salute to the Massachusetts Connecticut chapter, and you can go to the next one. And to support the chapter directly, you can donate today on Venmo and Cash App at BHMassCT. That's on Venmo and Cash App. And just donate to directly provide towards building those campaigns. It costs money to build garden beds, to get containers, to get soil, and to get those staple pantry items. And to become a campaigns coordinator for your community on the ground, you can email us at joincampaigns@gmail.com. Wherever you're at in the world, we will organize with you to figure out what local campaign on the ground your community needs and build that up for you. And you can go to the last slide. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about the COVID tip of the day. As you all know, COVID is still here. It's real. There's a lot of talk around vaccinations, right? And so I wanted to be clear, whether or not you're getting a vaccine, getting a vaccine does not protect you against COVID-19. There are people who have gotten the vaccine, who have gotten hospitalized, who have even died afterwards. And so it's really important to stay with our COVID-19 safety protocols. All of these are on our website, blackhammer.org/COVID-19 basic, because we know a way to protect you against COVID-19. And it's really important too to keep your immune system boosted, right? Your immune system is your last defense if you catch COVID-19 or if you get sick from the vaccine, right? And so making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure you're not eating a lot of processed foods, high sugars, high alcohol, getting sunlight, eating a balanced diet, staying in movement and staying hydrated. Super important. When you don't get those things, your immune system is affected, and it's harder to fight off viruses. So super, super important that we are really looking at a lifestyle, right? And not looking at the body. This is kind of what we talked about too, like looking at the body as like a whole system that that you like feed, and not just like a quick like
the Massachusetts, Connecticut chapter for putting in that work in the gardens. I'm so excited to see y'all use those skills in Massachusetts, Connecticut. And you know what else you need in order to grow things? For putting in that work. That's right, we guessed it, water. Our comrades over at the International Science and Technology Committee are working tirelessly to make sure our people have clean water, something that is our birthright, our life force, that the state is doing everything they can to take away from us. But enough of me talking about it. Next, we have our Chief of Worldwide Science and Technology, Chief Suh.
Land back. Can y'all see me? It says my camera is messed up. All right. Land back, everyone. I'm Chief Suh. I rep the nation of Korea, they, them pronouns. The International Chief of Science and Technology. And I want to share a couple things with y'all today. And the first is on the water project. So many of y'all know that our comrade out of the Missouri chapter, Chief Eyes, was ripped from us, like so many others, by colonialism. And colonialism specifically manifested for Chief Eyes in the form of poison water that infected his body and took his life. So we want to say rest in power to Chief Eyes, but it's not enough for us to just say that. We have to make sure that no one else will ever die the way he did from poison water. So the Science and Technology Committee, we investigated this and found that the water there in Missouri is infected not only with a bacteria called H. pylori, but also trihalomethanes, which are cancer-causing chemicals over 80 times the safe limit in this water. And once we tested it, we knew we had to do something about it, because only we, the colonized proletariat, are willing and capable to save our people and to liberate each other and the water. So here you see pictures of Comrade Rohan and Chief Kathunsen, who is the chief of our research committee, reverse engineering a reverse osmosis water filtration system. And a reverse osmosis water filtration system cleans water by pushing it through a very bacteria and what have you from that water. And reverse engineering is when you take something apart in order to see how it works. And we're reverse engineering these filters because we will be building them to distribute for free, not only in Missouri, but worldwide, to colonize people who are being poisoned by their water. So if you can go to the next slide, if you would like to support this, the best thing you can do is to join Science and Technology. But you can also donate to our GoFundMe. You can reach it at tinyurl.com/water-gfm, or you can cash up us at BHO SciTech. We do this in Chief Eye's memory. And out of love for our comrade Mother Earth, we know that the same way we have been colonized, so has she. And it is just the perversion of the colony to take the very basis of life, water, and the greatest gift we have from Mother Earth, and use it to poison colonized people. We know that we don't get clean water by asking them, just like we don't get our liberation by asking for community control of the clan. We have to take it by our own hands through the power of discipline, organization, and colonized unity. So if you'd like to support that project, again, tinyurl.com/water-gfm, or the Cash App BHO SciTech. If we could hop to the next slide, I do want to mention that none of the three of us you see in that picture knew anything about the water filtration system before this project started. We didn't know anything about bacteria, about contaminants in the water, about reverse osmosis filtration systems, or anything like that. Which brings me to the point I wanted to really drive home today. Like, we don't have degrees in this, and you may not have a degree at all. You may have dropped out of college or high school, or even before that. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need a piece of paper from a white man to tell you whether you are capable of doing science or not. You are a scientist, and even if you have no what they would call professional, technical, academic background or whatever, you are still welcome and urged to join Science and Technology. We need you. We need you. We need you in order to bring this collective brilliance, to use science to liberate our people, to liberate our Mother Earth, and to usher in a world where no one lives at the expense of another. And the second you let a colonizer in your head win and tell you that, oh, I can't do science because I dropped out, or I can't do science because I was told I can't do science, you are letting the colony win, and you are lying to yourself about who you are. Look at who you are. CIC said in their State of the Hammer, remember who you are. Remember who your people are. We have, throughout history, we have built ships and boats and weapons and pyramids, divined the stars, traveled the earth. And what have we built, not even in history, but in the history of the past 2 years in this organization? What but being scientists would allow us to distribute 500,000 masks worldwide for free to colonize people? What but science would allow us, a group of poor and working class colonized people with nothing to lose but our chains, to build chapters all over the United States, all over Canada, and in Nigeria, and the Philippines, and Brazil, and Costa Rica, and Puerto Rico, and Kenya, and Sierra Leone? What but science would allow us to do that? Specifically, we made this graphic on the right specifically to recruit people who have not gotten to learn science but want to, be it chemistry, engineering, web development, server and app development, or biology or engineering, any of that. And we're told that they weren't good enough by the system built on their genocide because they couldn't make it through a 4-year program designed to train them to enact their own genocide. You should be very proud that they didn't want you in that system, because that system is built on your genocide. We are scientists. We have always been scientists. And you don't need a piece of paper from a white man who is trying to kill you to tell you if you're good enough to do science or not. And I'm going to tell you something else, because I have some of those colonial degrees in science that they say are worth so much. And I've said at a lot of these tables with patent lawyers and the leading experts in fields. And I'm going to tell you right now, it may or may not come as a surprise to you. They're not very smart, and they are certainly not smarter than us. I have never known brilliance, intelligence, dialectical materialism, and genius ever in my life the way I have before I stepped into this organization and saw the power of poor and working class colonized people united under our political line. We are building a dual contending power through our science and technology program. We understand that we are building the start of a new world. That's what those 200 acres of land are. That's what those 200 acres of liberated land are. And this new world is the antithesis of the old one. And that extends to science. We understand what they use science for is to kill us, whether it be drone bombs or napalm, or their genocidal experimentation on us through what they call a healthcare system, or the way they drill oil out of this earth to rape her. We don't want control over that. Just like we don't want community control over the Klan, we don't want community control over their science programs, because we know their science programs aren't capable of building anything but death. We don't want that. We want to contend. We want power. We want to be able to provide for our people through science, because we understand that science is sacred and it's our duty to use it to liberate our people. Science for them is genocide. Science for us is liberation. You don't need a degree. You don't need any person from this system that is killing you to tell you whether or not you're good enough to do science. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Every colonized person is a scientist. Anyone who has ever had to move around bills just to make shit work enough to move on to the next day is science. We have to use science just to survive in this hell of a system. It's time to use science for more than just survival, and to use it to liberate ourselves. If you're ready to do that, if you're ready to learn these skills, if you're ready to use them for the liberation of your people, join Blackhammer if you haven't already. Join SciTech by emailing bhoscitech@protonmail.com and kill that colonizer in your head that keeps telling you you're not good enough. Land back.
Land back. Amazing. You heard Chief Sa. We are all scientists, and all you need to join SciTech is a nerdy brain, y'all. So join today. Salute to all of our comrades using their nerdy brains for the people. Y'all are so freaking cool. I am not nerdy, but y'all are so freaking cool. Well, y'all, we have made it to the bottom of our agenda. It was an absolute pleasure hosting this rally this evening for y'all. And now it is time for our adjournment message with the Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, the beast of an office that brings y'all the Blackhammer Times, the Blackhammer.org Instagram page, the Blackhammer BHO Bazaar. Fierce clothes, y'all, check it out. Dope graphics, curriculum, music, and live shows and events. And that is Chief Indu BC. Land back.
Lamb back, comrades. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. I'm Chief in BC, repping Igbo, Nigeria, and Turtle Island. I use they, them pronouns, and I am the acting Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, the committee responsible for putting together this wonderful event. Shout out. And so for everyone here at our weekly Tuesday rally, we hope y'all really got your life tonight. You know, shameless plug, if you want to help us build and inspire the people through this dual contending, media apparatus, reach out to Agitprop at BHO Agitation Propaganda at protonmail.com. Our theme tonight was no community control of the Klan. And to sum it up, we've come to the understanding that our liberation, our safety and our well-being must be in our hands, not in the claws of the colonial state. The solution is revolution, never reform. And it is our duty as hammers, as revolutionaries, to protect ourselves and our people by any means necessary. We are the people's greatest resource. And when we're out here, on the streets at these protests, we must remember our purpose to keep our people safe, freeing our people from this hamster wheel, showing them the way, winning and uniting our people to liberation. And the only way through is through leadership of colonized poor and working class people, organized and united. We are taking the power in our own hands. And so I really want to shout out Curriculum and Blackhammer Times for that incredible political education, really laying it out. The pigs are not here to protect and serve us. So colonized people, please do not call 911, because they only make the situation so much more dangerous. And so if you need help, call on Blackhammer, but better yet, join us for true, safety, true freedom and security for the people and by the people. We are building a city, Hammer City, no cops, no Rona, no rent, no whites. We got the land, y'all, and it feels so good. So shout out to the haters. They can't take it, but it's so clear from up here, right? Like SGI said, take a deep breath and really embrace our victory. We're building our own justice system, our own people's court, our own defense systems, our own healthcare, sovereignty. Our well-being is in our hands. And we have what it takes. And so I want to welcome our new comrades, welcome home, welcome to the revolution, and thank you everyone for being here with us in this fight for our liberation. Salute to our presenters for freeing our people on all levels. And shout out to the culture department for hosting such a phenomenal event weekly. It gets better and better. And now we're about to head into this after party, but first, I'm gonna tell y'all how much we made. Are y'all listening? The goal was $1,000. Hammers, we raised $1,727. Yes. Shout out to Colonized Unity. Shout out to our victory. We can't be beat. We are winning. We are building, and we got so much to celebrate. So if you want to take part in this good time at the after party, you got to be a member. So join today. Join right now at blackhammer.org/join, and we'll plug you right on in. And so I'm going to pass it back to Chief Sue to take us off live and into this after party. But first, can I get an enthusiastic lamb back from everyone?
Lamb back.
Lamb back.
Lamb
back.
back.
Lamb back.
Lamb back. Say that again.
Lamb back.
Lamb
Yeah,
back.
we ready to tell everybody, y'all. Salute. Oh my goodness, that might be the most we've ever made on a rally. That is amazing. Salute to Chief T for doing the damn thing and getting us them coins. Okay, we are so much closer to Hammer City than y'all can even imagine. Again, it was a pleasure to host this rally. I am so happy to be officially adjourning. And like Chief NWC said, if y'all trying to come up into this after party and play some games and be lit with us, go ahead and join Blackhammer today. Comrade Dio, can I get that outro?
Come join Blackhammer. Come join Blackhammer. Come
come join Blackhammer. Come join now, come join now.
Land back.